Hello YouTube, how is everyone doing? It's Professional here. Welcome back to my playthrough of Mafia Definitive Edition, and on this part we are on the final mission, the death of R. Hope that you guys have enjoyed this series. If you did, do drop a like. Let's continue from where you left off. This ending is pretty crazy, and also pretty depressing at the same time too.
Well, look at this. Christ has finally risen. I was getting ready to call the coroner.
Sorry. Had a bit of trouble falling asleep is all.
Me too, thanks to you tossing and turning all night. Okay, what'd you do?
We're just feeling lucky is all.
Got that right, champ.
But I've been thinking.
Oh yeah? I'll call the papers.
I've been thinking about taking you and a kid out to the shore.
You serious? Ain't you working?
Paulie and me, we've come into some money.
Huh. One of his cracked angles finally pay off?
Yeah, something like that. Pack a few bags. I'll swing by after I go around to Paulie's.
What ain't you telling me, Tommy?
Nothing.
Sure, you and Paulie are suddenly flush and now you want to leave town for a few days? That don't square.
Yep.
What's the point of making a buck if we can't spend it?
That ain't it. You're moving, even when you're standing still. Yeah, you're nervous about something. Probably you don't even know why yet.
Well, that must be it.
You better figure it out before you get to Paulie's, just in case it's him that got you all wound up.
Paulie's all right. Don't worry about it.
Well, I guess I'll see you soon.
You can find
Still
some.
here?
You can find some important collectibles around Tommy's house. This is the first time you get to explore his house. A lot of players miss this and they just leave the house right away. I think that Sarah pretty much knows what Tommy did, though, because it's all over the papers. Look at this. Police department, still lost heaven. Before he became a taxi driver, Tommy worked on a road crew. He lived in camps for several months at a time, building highways throughout the northern United States. Tommy eventually tired of the itinerant life and moved back to Lost Haven in 1926 using the money he had saved to buy himself a cab. Okay. Driver's number. There. So door to the outside. Man and wife, June 1934. That's when they got married. Martimo Italiano. Coming to America, Tommy and his family arrived in Empire Bay after a month at sea on Christmas Day 1904. After an inspection by immigration officials, they traveled onto Lost Heaven in a crowded train carriage. Tommy's father found employment at Lost Heaven Harbor, where he worked until his death 15 years later. And Tommy, I believe, has a sister, but they never really explained that. So, Tommy is from Sicily, by the way. And if you're wondering if he's from Sicily, why doesn't he speak Italian? For two reasons. Probably because he spoke Sicilian first, not Italian, and the second reason is because he came to America when he was, like, 4 years old. And so he would be speaking English. And a lot of immigrants back then, they tended to speak English in their households. Today, it's like... more languages are in the household, but back then, immigrants tended to speak English to a lot of their kids. Oh, and here's the family photo. Since Sicily, 1904, 4-year-old Tommy with his family at the Villari Lemon Grove near the port of Messina. Tommy's father was a supervisor at the plantation until it was foreclosed by a moneylender. Evicted from their home and destitute, the Angelos emigrated to America soon afterwards. So, he was a supervisor at a plantation, so Tommy's father actually did pretty well for himself. So, Tommy actually comes from a rich family in Sicily. But here's the thing, look at what it says here. It says they were foreclosed by a moneylender. Evicted from their home and destitute. So they were basically and that's a very nice house they have right there. For Sicily, that's very big. Back then in Sicily, you had absolute poverty or very rich people. And my theory is, what I think is happening here, I think that you will see Tommy's family in Mafia the Old Country, because Mafia the Old Country takes place in 1905, and 1904, this is it, and remember, his family gets thrown off their land by a moneylender, or probably the Mafia. It's probably Don Teresi who probably does that. But I guess we'll see that next week when the game comes out. Oh, this picture is important. 3 of a kind. Sam, Paulie, and Tommy.
If you keep hanging around, you're gonna end up packing bags with me. Just warning you.
And, there should also be a newspaper here somewhere. Make sure I don't miss it, though. Oh, here it is. This is their backyard, too. Bank raid. Suspects at large. Bystander photograph shows officers surrounding the Grand Imperial Bank. The Lost Heaven Police Department are appealing for information related to violent robbery that took place yesterday in downtown Lost Heaven. The thieves, who left many dead, are said to have taken an enormous haul. They remain unidentified and are on the loose. Witnesses are encouraged to contact LHPD in person or by telephone. Okay. Yeah, so Sarah's reading the paper, so Sarah probably put 2 and 2 together and figured out what was going on. Yeah, this was Tommy's house here.
Police say they still have no solid leads in the case of the audacious bank robbery that recently shocked the city. The victors of the Battle of the Grand Imperial, as it's become known, remain at large. The robbery, in which armed thugs emptied the vault and left a trail of dead, was one of the largest recorded in the state by dollar amount. The raid was executed with a high degree of violence, and although successful, did not seem to be the work of professional bank robbers. That is according to a source within the FBI who has spoken to a Courier journalist on the condition of anonymity. At the time of the robbery, the chief of police was adamant that those responsible would be brought to justice swiftly, and that all the resources of the Lost Heaven Police Department were available to the case's lead investigator. However, despite conducting numerous interviews and fielding calls from the public, an actionable lead has yet to be forthcoming. The chief of police has stated that those with any information about the robbery or the perpetrators can anonymously contact their local police station. As time passes, the greater the pressure on the chief to achieve results. If he's unable to secure justice for those slain that day, and due to the violence meted out, it must only be a matter of time before the G-men take over. Thank you for listening. Now we take you back
G-man,
to
they
some
probably
of the
meant federal.
latest musical numbers.
This neighborhood's going to the dogs.
What happened to your door?
Christ only knows.
Hey, you heard a ruckus last night?
Nah, I've been working nights.
Guy in the apartment above me was raising hell. Again.
Paulie! Ah, Jesus. Paulie. Paulie. Oh, God.
Notice in this scene how Tommy stays away from the window when he's also answering the phone, because he's thinking that the hitman might be calling the phone just to get him near the window. That's why he stays away from it.
Paulie. Sam. It's me. It's Tom.
Where's Paulie?
He's dead. I'm looking at him slumped over in a hallway, torn a fucking skull.
Oh, God. I was calling to warn him.
About what?
Jesus Christ. I owe you fellas my life 3 times over.
Warn him about what, Sam?
Salieri. He found out about the bank job. You're in deep shit, Tom. You gotta disappear.
Okay. Okay. I just need some cash to get me and the girls out of town. Can you swing that?
Sure. Anything, pal. You want me to come to Paulie's?
No. No, I can't stay here. Meet me at the city gallery.
Yeah, okay. Keep your head down, Tom.
I'll see you soon. And, thanks, Sam.
I always pay my debts, Tom. You know that.
Paulie, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
It kind of sucks that you can't explore Paulie's apartment, but what I'll say about that is, notice about Paulie's... there's a few things to notice in that scene. Notice how there's really no forced entry into Paulie's apartment. The door was left open like this on purpose because the hitman wanted Tommy to come in. And the other thing is that if you look at Paulie's apartment, you notice that it's like really run down. He only has like a single mattress. It shows, why he's suffering from depression. He's living in this small, cramped up apartment, and Tommy's living in, this big house. That's one of the reasons Paulie wanted to get out of the mafia. Didn't want to get involved in this, in this stuff anymore. And also, if you notice, Paulie is barely dressed. Paulie didn't really have a suit on. He just had his, business shirt on. It looks like he basically just got out of bed at that time. So he was expecting somebody, and he had 2 shots in his head, and that's the mafia's signature, is 2 shots to the head to make sure that they're dead. And remember, it's kind of ironic because earlier in the story, Paulie forgot to put 2 shots in somebody's head, and then he has 2 shots in his head later on. I'm trying to remember if there's anything up here. Oh, there is, yeah. But if you're wondering, why did Salieri kill Paulie, and now he's going after Tommy, it's because they went...
I'm gonna call the cops. Something ain't right.
Someone said it could have been gunshots.
The reason that Salieri had Paulie killed and is going after Tommy now is because they went after a mob bank, but also because it brought a lot of heat, and because they didn't ask the Don for permission or give him a cut. Remember what I said earlier in the story, that if gangsters do something and they don't give the boss a cut, that is almost always a death sentence. It is almost always, death. You do something, you make money, and you don't give the boss a cut, even if the boss does nothing, it is almost always death. And the thing about this is, it's kind of ironic because Salieri was lying to Tommy and Paulie, about the drugs. He cut them out of it, he didn't give them a fair cut, and on top of that, he lied to them saying it was diamonds when it was really drugs.
With the annexation of Austria,
Oh, listen.
with many predicting that Czechoslovakia's Sudetenland will be next, Adolf Hitler has shown Europe that he is now calling the shots. Despite the restrictions placed on Germany by the Treaty of Versailles, neither France nor Great Britain have done much to stand in Hitler's way up to this point. It had been hoped that the policy of appeasement toward his territorial ambitions would create a more prolonged peace in Europe, but it seems increasingly likely that this course of action will result in new conflict. Should Europe once again descend into the chaos of war, what stance should the United States take? Many would still say European problems are European problems, but the deteriorating situation and the worrying possible outcomes for the world now seem difficult for us to ignore. Isolation versus intervention. That is the choice facing America. Which we will decide will be known in time. Thank you for listening. And now, back to my colleagues who, no doubt, have some music on the cards.
So again, the World War II radio broadcast, talking about, this is 1938, 1 year before the war, happens. Hitler has taken Austria already at this point, and he has taken the Sudetenland in Czechoslovakia. He's going to end up taking, half a year from now, he's going to invade the rest of Czechoslovakia, and he's also going to take Memel from Lithuania. And so they were trying to appease him, hoping that would prevent war, but eventually, when he Britain and France lost their patience with him after he had annexed Czechoslovakia, took that over, and then they made an alliance with Poland, and then you know what pretty much happened the rest there. But it's also foreshadowing that a lot of really bad stuff is going to happen also, and it's kind of creepy how that's the final radio broadcast in the game, that you listen to that, where Hitler is making all of these demands. If you try to go to Salieri's, it won't let you, I don't think so. Yeah, so you can't even open the door, yeah. See that? You can't even go into the restaurant, it's locked. Also, there's one thing I wanted to say here about the radio broadcast. Most of America did not want to get involved in a war in Europe at this point, so that radio broadcaster is correct and is historically accurate. It wasn't until Japan bombed Pearl Harbor that American public opinion changed, and also Germany had declared war on America before America declared war on them. But the reason that America didn't really want to get involved in a conflict in Europe at this time was because a lot of Americans were really angry at a lot of European governments for World War I, especially Britain and France, because a lot of Americans, the way that they looked at it is that they saw it that World War I, that these European powers basically dragged Americans, where they were safe across from the Atlantic Ocean, into Europe to basically fight for their empires and their colonies. That's what World War I was. It was a big power grab between a bunch of monarchies that were fighting over their colonies, and over 100,000 Americans died in World War I, and what did the U.S. get out of it? They really didn't get anything out of it. And instead, these empires expanded, and they got more colonies, and so a lot of Americans saw it at Americans dying at the expense of monarchies, and so that's why a lot of Americans didn't want to get involved in World War II. But World War II was very different. World War I was a bunch of greedy monarchies. World War II, you had the fascists in Germany and Italy that were basically trying to conquer Europe and genocide anybody that they did not like. And the same thing for Japan, what they were doing in Asia, specifically in China at this time.
Don't move, Tommy.
Shit. Hey, Tom. Sam. What the hell's going on? You and Paulie put me in a bad spot.
I know, Sam, and I'm sorry about that, but I need to get out of town. Can you help me or not?
There you go again. Making me choose between my friends and the family. This is what you were looking for, Paulie's. Here's your cut. It's more than you deserve.
Sam. You killed him. You killed Paulie.
No. Paulie got himself killed.
And you seem real tore up about it.
I'm just in a good mood. Things are right between me and the Don. I'm moving up, and I just found this big bag of money. The Don knows about Frank Tom. The whore, too.
That whore? The girl you were sweet on?
You're the one that let her live. I'm sorry about this, Tom. But our business has rules. Shame, too. Don Salieri really liked you. Guess we'll both have a good cry at your funeral.
You think you're doing this because you're loyal, but you're not. You're
My favorite
just
line.
Scared.
True.
Maybe. But you would have lived a lot longer if you would have just looked over your shoulder from time to time. Goodbye. Don't let him suffer, boys. He's my buddy.
So I want to say here, Sam killed Paulie. That's why there was no forced entry. Paulie let him in, did not really think of anything of it, didn't think that his friend would kill him. And that's probably Salieri probably sent him over to probably prove his loyalty. That's probably what it was ultimately about. So Paulie never saw it coming that Sam killed him. What I'll say about this, Sam is a opportunist. He's a survivor. He's going to do ultimately what he thinks is in his best interest, even if it means betraying his friends. And notice how Tommy said to him that you think you're doing this because you're loyal, but the truth is you're just scared. And notice how he was shaking when Tommy said that, and he said maybe. So Tommy was completely on the money. Tommy was completely right. And here's the thing, the horrible thing about the Mafia. If you get killed in the Mafia, most of the time when you get killed in the Mafia, it's by somebody that you know. That's what's just so horrible about it.
Punks like you in this town. Over here! Throw some flames! Taking cover! Reloading!
Those damn Molotovs.
Leave, you bastard! Get a better shot! Go!
Where'd you go, Sam?
Business is business, Tom. I know that you, out of all of them, know that.
Notice how Sam also lied about the girl. He told...
No one but you.
He told Salieri that Tommy had let her go, but it was his idea, his plan.
What the hell? Get a better shot. Shit. Finding cover.
You don't need a loan. What that means is that you always give the boss a cut. You're gonna die, Cabby. That's what they've always thought of him.
Get over here now. Gonna burn!
Damn, they... Yeah, look at those Molotovs. That's ridiculous, isn't it? This mission is extremely difficult. Whenever you hear that, just know they're throwing Molotovs. Comic I can't pick up, I guess? Okay. Where's that shotgun?
Get over here now!
Yeah, there, get your Molotov.
You're in my sights.
They wouldn't use the term Molotov in this time period, by the way, 1938. The term Molotov didn't exist until 1939, when the Finns used it against Soviet tanks when they invaded their country. Crap. The reason it was called Molotov, it was a reference to Molotov, the foreign minister of the Soviet Union. They did use Molotovs in this time period, even, you know, since the early 1900s, but they weren't called Molotovs. They were called fire bottles or fire grenades or incendiary
You still had respect for the Don, you'd swallow this down. Pass!
Fuck you, Sam!
I know you'd do the same, Tom.
No, he wouldn't.
I know you've done the same.
Now the objective change, kill Sam.
This is getting serious, boys. Take him out.
Running out of guys yet? Salieri was ripping us off.
Ripping you off, baby. Me, I play these things smart.
These guys got grenades on this floor, so you gotta watch out for that.
lucky shot, Tom. But the thing about drug money is it pays for a lot of muscle. Put them down, boys. Hey, hey, over here. Get him. Get him on the reload.
Damn.
Got a firebomb! Got a Molotov! Move into cover! Got me! Get me! I have his attention!
And you can see all the blood here. Sam's bleeding. He was stumbling.
Tired of this life, Tom. I know that. I've seen it grow in you for years. Now, there's only one way out. And I'm the guy that gets to give it to you. However far you run, Salieri will find you. This isn't a life you can just finish with. You're in till it ends. I'm glad you bought yourself some more time, I really am. This ain't a fight you're gonna win. You know what I think of Sarah. You know I'll keep her safe. Not laying this side down. You think I'm enjoying this?
Nobody's carrying you to the doctor this time, Sam.
You kill me now in the dawn. She's never gonna stop looking for you. But you let me live. I'll tell Salieri you're dead. You can disappear. Just like Frank. Only you'll be smart enough to stay gone. Right?
What happened to him?
He was hiding out in Europe. But the dumb bastard. He started betting at the dog track. Got spotted by a friend of the family. So Salieri, he sent out a crew.
And his family?
Okay, so this is debated a lot in the Mafia community. People say, like, what does that mean when he does that? When Sam does that, some people say, I don't, some people say that means I don't know, but other people say that that means, what do you think? I think this means, what do you think? That Salieri not only found Frank, but killed his wife and his daughter.
Christ. You can't do it, can you? Always that little voice in the back of your head. Maybe sounds like your baby girl. Or Sarah. Always telling you not to pull that trigger. And you can't make up your mind.
It's getting easier every time you open your fucking mouth.
We sure had some laughs, right? Remember that time? Me, you, and Paulie.
So about this, go back a few seconds, guys, in this clip. If you go back a few seconds in the clip, you'll notice that when Sam says, you know, we had a few laughs, Tommy's actually lowering his gun. So he was actually considering letting Sam go. He was actually considering sparing Sam's life. But then when Sam actually brought up Paulie and said, remember that time you, me, and Paulie? And then Tommy just unloaded in him in pure rage and just killed him. The reason for that was because Sam was bringing up Paulie, like good times with Paulie, to try to get him to remember a good memory, to make him spare him. So he was trying to use memories of Paulie, but he was the one who ended up killing Paulie. And that's, you know, just pure rage in Tommy at that point when he brought up Paulie and he just unloaded into him. So Sam got what he deserved. That's symbolism right there. It shows you that the Mafia's money is basically all blood money. It's not honest money.
I sympathize with the situation, Tom, and I want to help your family, but I can't do anything unless you're willing to testify in court. You understand that, right? You'll have to sit in that box, stare down Salieri, Ralphie, Vinny, maybe even Sarah's father. I don't know if you got the stones for it, if I'm being honest.
I'll do what needs to be done. But you need to get my family new identities and ship them far away from here.
Well, hold on. There's a long road between us sitting here bumping gums and Sarah sleeping under new stars.
Then I'm sorry I wasted your time. And mine. I gotta get out of town.
Look, Tom. I got a family too. Wife, 4 boys.
All Irish twins.
Yeah. So you know I understand what you're going through. All the worrying over them, the fear that one of them's gonna go before you do. But this case, it'll be one of the biggest this city has ever seen. It could drag on for years, and I don't know if I can protect you for that long, not the way things are downtown.
Everyone's gotta eat, right? Even dirty cops.
Just being honest here.
He's telling him in this time period, there was so much corruption. If you are under witness protection in this time period, chances are the Mafia would probably find you because of the amount of corruption. Today, there's a lot more safety procedures in play. There's a lot more, less people are involved in this stuff, and it's more, people are screened more heavily. So back then, it was a lot easier for the Mafia to find witnesses.
There's a few badges I can trust downtown, but not many. And if it comes down to you or me taking a bullet, I'm not gonna make my wife a widow. Keeping you alive ain't exactly the moral course, but I'll try.
That's a pretty good sales job. Trying to make me think you got nothing on the line. But this is your whole career right here. However it works out for me, Whether I live or die, you get to crack the Morello case and take down a Don. Salieri will be your legacy.
Don't go thinking you know me, Tom. Salieri belongs behind bars. I'll help you so long as you help me put him there. That's all this is.
Then that has to be enough.
(1951). That's his daughter, by the way.
A long time ago. In another life. Someone once told me that family is a man's Achilles heel. His greatest weakness. Maybe he was right. Because everything I've done, both good and bad, I've done for my family. I've turned my back on people I thought were my friends. I've kept a lot of hard promises. I spent 8 years totally alone, trying to find myself so I could come home. A better husband, a better father, a better man. Now that I'm a lot older and just a bit wiser, I see that family is our greatest weakness, but it's also our greatest strength. It gets us out of bed in the morning. It lets us chase our dreams, even when they're moving too fast to catch.
This is from Mafia 2 now.
It keeps us from falling over when we're too tired to take another step.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Mr. Salieri sends his regards.
Tommy!
That's okay. You're safe now. You're all safe. Remember that money, jobs, even best pals will come and go. But family is forever.
Everybody wants to go to heaven.
Y'all thought I was soft as cotton. Y'all thought I was
Yeah, that is the,
messed around and
that's there. I gotta mute this part because unfortunately there's copyright.
Tell them I'm on my way.
But what I was gonna say is that this is the perfect remake, and what they did here is they changed a lot of stuff, because in the original, Tommy, when he died instantly. So Tommy died before he hit the ground, and Tommy did not expect it. He was like surprised they found him. But in this game, he was not surprised. He knew that they found him. When two guys walk up to you and ask you, Mr. Angelo, he knew what that was. And Tommy turned around, basically accepted his fate, and didn't try to fight. He smiled before he died. The reason that Tommy accepted his fate is because he knew that the Mafia wasn't going to stop looking for him, and they were going to, kill him. But when he knew that the hitmen had left at that point, Vito and Joe, and he knew that he was only the target, he knew that his family was not going to get targeted anymore when they left. And so that's why he says, you're safe, because he knew that his children were going to be able to live, and his wife was going to be able to live, and they weren't going to go after them anymore. That's what that was, basically. But I will say, though, that Tommy did win in the end, because even though he died, Salieri, he was still alive in 1951, he was just old, probably on his deathbed in prison, but Salieri dies alone in prison. So Salieri got life, he was still in prison in 1951. He dies alone in prison with nobody. Tommy at least got to spend his last years with his family and got to see his daughter get married. So that's what I'll say about that. But what the game was basically trying to tell you is that there really is no such thing as friendship in the Mafia. That's what they were trying to tell you, and that how evil these guys are. Like, from Salieri, you get this idea that he's an honorable gangster, that he's an honorable man, but after Morello dies, you get to see what Salieri's truly like. The drugs, you know, the violence, the intimidation, the murders, the senseless killings. That's the type of person that Salieri truly is. Salieri is a horrible, you know, evil man. He is not, you know, better than Don Morello. Don Morello and him are both the exact same thing. They betrayed their own boss. They betrayed their own boss to kill him. And this is what Frank also meant. Remember when Frank was riding with Tommy earlier in the game, and he told Tommy that you could be the boss one day, and he said that Paulie is the guy that we want in the fight, but he's not the guy running things. What he basically means by that is he means that Paulie is great for muscle, but he's not really a good leader. And then when he says about Sam, he says Sam is loyal, but he has no vision. What does Frank mean by that? Sam is loyal, but he has no vision? It means that Sam has blind loyalty. It means Sam never thinks for himself. Never. That's what he basically means by that. And that's what blind loyalty basically got him there. The amount of times that Paulie and Sam, the amount of times that Tom specifically saved Sam's life, how many times? And then Sam also had the nerve to also lie to Salieri, telling him that Tommy had let Michelle go, when in reality it was actually Sam's idea to let Michelle go. He lied about that. So it just shows you, you know, what an absolute scumbag that Sam is. So, you know, Sam, I don't feel bad for Sam at all. I think that Sam got exactly what he deserved there in that scene. I think Sam is probably one of the worst friends that you've had in the Mafia series, yeah. And also, the thing about this is if Sam had actually worked with Tom and Paulie, they probably could have gotten rid of the Don. If they had actually worked together, they probably could have gotten rid of him and done something better. But the thing about that is that Sam was just too scared to do that. It was like Tommy said, it wasn't loyalty, it was just fear. That's what it was. These guys talk all high and mighty about family, loyalty, honor, and stuff like that, but a lot of times it's meaningless. These guys are just with each other just to make money, primarily. They don't care about each other. They'll screw each other over whenever they get the chance, and Tommy had no loyalty to them. Tommy was right to do, you know, what he did in the end there. I guess I feel a little bit bad for Ralph getting arrested, but Ralphie was still a criminal. He's still, you know, stole cars. He was still a, you know, criminal. As for Luigi, you never see Luigi get arrested. What I think happened with Luigi is Luigi was retired for over 10 years from organized crime at this point. He had not committed any kind of really crime for 10 years. He overheard the Mafia's businesses, sure, but he really had not committed any crimes in 10 years. And about Luigi, I think that because you didn't see him get arrested, I think that Tom or Sarah probably called him to tip him off to get out of there. And Luigi was ultimately loyal to Sarah. Luigi would have been more loyal to Sarah than to Don Salieri, so I think that he probably got out of there. He probably just escaped before the police came. That's probably what ended up happening with Luigi. That's why you don't see him get arrested. But yeah, that's ultimately what the Mafia Definitive Edition is trying to tell you. There's no such thing as honor in the Mafia. There's no such thing as true friendship. These guys, they dress nice, but all these guys basically are is just thugs in nice clothes. That's all they are. Thugs in nice clothes when you think about it. But I hope that you guys have enjoyed this series. We will be doing Mafia the Old Country. Mafia the Old Country when that comes out. That's coming out in a week from now. And we'll have a lot of fun with Mafia the Old Country. And we'll probably see some of these characters' younger selves in Mafia the Old Country. That's probably what we'll see. Well, that is it right there, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this play. If you did, drop a like. We will be doing Mafia the Old Country this week coming up, and I will also be doing, on top of that, Metal Gear Solid 2 will be starting up this month, and then do Metal Gear Solid Delta later. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys.